What's up, everybody, and welcome back to episode 4 of the Dropcast. I'm Claudio, and I'm here with the one, the only, the legend, wait for it, Dairy Chapter Master Lorand. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man? How's everybody doing? Thanks for having me. Let's do another Dropcast, I guess, right?
Dude, thank you for showing up. I really appreciate you coming down on the drop with me today. It's
sweet.
Terrible going alone on these drops, so I'm glad to have a buddy here.
Usually one way, right?
Yeah. So let's get to it. Let's as you guys are probably already familiar with by now, we're gonna get to our pre main topic segment, which is called, well, Before the Drop. So Lorand, what did you do before the drop?
Okay, well, yesterday I was basically telling I keep saying yesterday. Last cast, I was babbling about painting some stuff. I kind of got busy, so I couldn't do anything. But I've been painting wise. But I did a lot of conversion and building stuff up to get basically on my painting table. So I painted. I assembled, which I think I sent you, and I'll put a thing up of what it is right now. My whip, as you call it. My second Redemptor Dreadnought, which is going to be kind of my two weapon platforms. I finished converting him. He has, because it's one of the old blue plastic ones. I don't know. They're all discontinued now. And as everybody knows now, there is no option to take the Icarus launcher on it. You have to take it. Like there's no, just have to have it on. So I have to convert one on his shoulder, which you guys will probably see it right there, how it looks. Oh, sorry, actually, I think it's this side. And last time you had it on this side. Yeah, okay. So right there. So I did that. So he's finished. I put him together. I'm pretty sure I did well with some like really bad putting, but hopefully they'll hide up for my paint with my bad paint job. That's what you do, right? You hide your bad sculpting with bad paint jobs, and it's all good.
Or just throw on extra bits just to cover up the bad stuff.
Purity seals everywhere.
I actually just recently did that too.
Yeah, I did it too. All right, there's a piece missing. You just put a backpack on it, or like a little.
Oh yeah,
I did that. And then so that's kind of like my hobby time. I went back to God of War. I can't believe because I bought beginning of the pandemic. I bought a PlayStation 4 to play because we normally get stuck inside. So I'm like, you know what? I'll double down on having some single player games. I stopped playing God of War and I got back again, Claudio. It's like one of the most beautiful games ever. Like it is
God of War 4, right? The recent one,
the new one, new one on the PlayStation 4. It is like there's things when people say art in video games, and even in this game right now, every single time I'm walking around it, it's like walking in a storybook. It is so beautifully done.
There's also no cuts in that, right? There's like no cuts. It's just transition.
No. Yeah.
Oh,
it is.
I love that idea.
Like I'm trying to think. Like even right now, I went from like one section, and I think they call it like the center of the world or something, and you went on the boat, and the boat you go through it into this other weird elven realm, and it's like you don't even know you're going. It's beautiful. Like whoever has never played it and owns a PlayStation 4 needs to get it. Like it's one of the best games.
I know for years I've been wanting to play God of War. You always told me, Ryan always told me. I watched Ryan play it all the time, and it's like I know it's a game. It's a hack and slash. Like I'm into it.
Well, yeah,
I love the universe.
It's also basically just a very angry man killing gods. Like
sick. Actually, I love that idea.
And the other thing that's really interesting.
Swords. Sorry.
Well, so he's got like two swords in the first one with the chains, very 90s. Yeah. Chain swords. But in this one he has it's called a Leviathan axe. It's like a frost axe, and you don't really know much about it. But even the fact, if you're a fan of it, and this new one, he has a kid that he's taking care of, and they matured it. It went from like all like heavy metal and angry angst, from our teenage years to. Now it's even if you're a fan of it back then, now you're like, oh, it's Kratos dealing with taking care of his son when his wife is dead or whatever. Spoiler, it's not really a spoiler. What happens?
God, Lorand, I haven't played it yet.
No, it's like literally the point of the game, right? Yeah. That's the first 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I know his son is in it.
Yeah, and it's really touching, and it's about like clearly Kratos is like that. No one really knows who Kratos is, which is also very well done. He's clearly not. Cool. So there's a lot of nuance to the game, and him calling his son boy all the time is really good. Boy. But it's a lot of touching parts. Like, just watch trailer, you'll be like, wow, this is like what is this game? Because there's a lot of heart in it.
Yo, I had to, when I was working at EB Games, they have like the TVs playing the trailers. And I was working there when God of War 4 was coming out. So every time God of War was on the trailer was playing, I'd stop everything I was doing if I could and just watch the trailer. And I did that for so many movies and games. I probably spent like, I want to say total like 3 hours rewatching that trailer just over the month of Anyway, I love that trailer. It was so well done.
Yeah, it's like I said, I was very shocked to how mature it was, and the story's mature. Like it's very, like I'm not a father, and even now I'm like, wow, like this is a very like what do you do with a son that just lost his mother, and the son's very smart and like because it also hints about him too, and it's a very well done, awesome game. Like you just want to sit back and enjoy a nice story, beautiful visuals. You have a nice TV. That's the big thing too. Is we bought like I finally the first reason I got it was I'm like, oh, 4K TV. I have to try this out. So I play it on that sometimes.
You are convincing me to slowly, as you normally do with things, convincing me to get a PlayStation.
Well, that's the problem, right? Like, that's the question I usually say. Is it worth to get a system just for one game?
Maybe not one, but I think I mentioned it. But like, there's 5 games for the PS that are exclusive that I want to play. And
to be honest with
you, that's worth it.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'll even say like when things get back, I can let you borrow the system for a month and just play it all. Like it's one of those where I can recommend it, but I can also say why you shouldn't do it. But yeah, absolutely worth it. Like Maddie, one of my other friends, he got it and he said like, wow, like this was like because the system was more
specifically. Okay.
Yes, he's like this is probably one of the best games I've ever played. He was like blown away by it. Like he actually bought it. I think like he got the whole setup not a year, but like a couple of months after I did. I believe so. I know I started way before him, and he finished it in like a week.
Oh yeah.
He said like I had a week off. I couldn't put it down. Like I just needed to see what happened. So, anyways, I don't babble about how good that is. But again, if you have a chance, or if a system you never played it, play it. If you don't have a system or never played it, but like to burn money, 100% worth burning this money.
Damn, of the money I spent the last like week alone, I could have bought 3 PlayStations.
Well, don't tell me that.
No, I'm just kidding. That's an exaggeration, but I could have definitely bought a PlayStation and a couple games. A PS5. Sorry.
So no, it's all good. It's just I don't want to take up all time me talking about how amazing that game is. But
dude, if it's amazing, you got to talk about it.
Well, there you go. And then I also did. I mean, again, people who were watching me at my Low Orbit Gaming for Twitch viewers. I did my second episode of Shadow War. Great sandbox. The fact that they
one of the best ones out there, I swear.
Yes, you know what? It's funny because they took. And I think I talked to you about this with the Nemesis system. I know they took out. They used to be. So the first Nemesis system, the first game was really good.
Hold on, he's talking about Middle Earth Shadow of War.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, because I just kept saying Shadow of War, right? Yeah. So the second game at one point had like they made it more like collectible cards or something where you can buy packs, you can find packs, which just gave you orcs. It was kind of weird. Obviously, you all know why they did it. Anyway, the game was not doing well, and people were complaining so much. They ended up, I think, a couple months after taking it out. So that's why I went back into and trying it out. People are still saying that the first one worked better, right? I don't know yet. I don't think I played enough. But
what do you mean the first one?
The Nemesis system in
part 1, Shadow of Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor, middle of Shadow of Mordor. Apparently, the Nemesis system was still better because in that one, because it wasn't card on the base, it wasn't a collectible thing. You had a lot more reoccurring things. So, for example, like sometimes you would burn, and then again, I haven't played the new reiteration of Shadow. Sorry, the first one's called Shadow of Mordor. The second one is called Shadow of War. Both Middle Earth. Sorry, just so that when I say it, and I haven't seen because I know in the first one I remember those things like, for example, if you didn't cut a guy's head off, and that's random usually when you do an execution on a guy. If you don't cut the guys, you don't get decapitation as when you eliminate him, he has a chance of coming back. So the cool thing was if you kill the guy by throwing him in fire and the last thing he did was he burned to death, he can come back. There's a chance he came back all to get a vengeance on you and his face would be scarred up. Like the model itself would look different. So cool. They build these really cool stories in it. Or if you cut the, or if you kill the guy in a certain way, he would come back. Like if, for example, I know one of the guys I killed by getting one of those weird werewolf things to attack him, like the wargs or whatever. And yeah, so it was really cool. He comes back and he's like, "Oh, you made that guy eat my face," and you see his face had a huge scar on it. Or sometimes what will happen is like you like the finisher was you cut him in half and he comes back like all like the scar on his belly because he actually like somehow got put back together. But it's cool. Like there's a story. It hasn't happened in the new one, but I'm hoping it does. But and then the second one,
there is.
Oh, that does happen. Okay, good.
I played the first one. I played the second one. I played it like I pre-ordered it. I love the second one to death, man. It's one of the best games I ever played.
Yeah,
and you're right. Like the warg attacking the orcs and like almost killing it. Yeah, they will come back and they'll be afraid of wargs.
Yeah, wargs. Yeah, they develop things. It's really cool.
So the Nemesis system, what it is if you encounter an orc boss, like a warlord, and you fight him, and for example, if you happen to lose, but you attacked him with a warg or with with arrows or something, next time you encounter him in the game, he'll be maybe resistant to arrows. Or missile weapons, resistant to wargs, resistant to stealth kills if you tried to stealth kill them. But they also have weaknesses as well. So some might be weak against fire. So that's when you want to use your fire sword or whatever and kill them with fire.
It's kind of interesting. I almost feel like this is the ultimate like Assassin's Creed or Assassin kind of game because it's still got that whole scouting thing, and the second one, as you know, has even more ways to manipulate the armies, right? Where you like death threat them or you shame them, and then they. And my favorite one,
right? The shaming is cool. Did you know what, man? Like near the end of the game, I didn't find I cared that much about the orcs. The orc bosses. Like you need to actually care for who you're assigning to which area and which castle and stuff. But near the end of the game, like as you're just clearing the entire map, like who cares?
Yeah. Well, so at the end, I mean, even now, you probably saw when I was playing. At certain times, I just walk in and be like, "Okay, there's 90 orcs. I'm just gonna fight it myself. I don't need anything special."
Yeah. Or just run right by. Like I love a game where you can just run right by. Like the whole game is, if you see an orc, you don't need to fight him. Just run right past him.
Just if you don't like his face.
Yeah.
but anyways, that's the thing I like about the game. It's very, it builds. You can start getting organic stories developing in the game, which is really cool. Like I remember even when I was the first time I was playing it, I had my girlfriend next to me watching, and she'd be like, "Oh my gosh, that guy!" Like she would remember his name and his face. Like, "Oh, that guy's an asshole." Like make sure to get him right. Like because he keeps ambushing me when I'm about to finish one of my targets. Who'd show up and like, "Hey, I'm here to kill you," and they shit talk you and stuff. Super
What's
fun.
His name? Bonks.
Oh, they have like different. Yeah, like what was yesterday? There was a guy.
Yeah, his name was Bonks.
Was it Bonks?
Yesterday.
Bonks?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bonks the poker. Was
Bonks the poker. What a dumb name, but it's an orc name.
And it's also, you can tell it's like a name generator, but there's so many of it that it becomes interesting.
Yeah, that's the thing. Every orc is different. You don't find the same. I'll never find orcs in my game that you find.
Yeah, it's very and they have all that, because I think what they do is they have a billion different characteristics, looks, attitudes, and they mix it all up. Because like even like there's that guy yesterday, I think you saw him, where this guy shows up and he's a hunter.
Yeah.
But he has a minion talk for him because he's mute. So it's like, guy's like, "Oh yeah, you can't talk, but I'll talk for you. We're gonna kick your ass." And he's like pointing at you and stuff. And then it's just like, what?
Did you play beat the second one yet?
No.
Okay.
I
spoiled a little bit yesterday. I don't know if you read that message, but I said something I probably shouldn't have if you haven't.
Oh, it's fine. I already know kind of what happens because like I said, I was one of those people that oh geez, my hair. I was one of those people that like I got turned off by the collecting part. Like once that kind of made it very clear, it's like, oh, these guys I'm capturing are actually cards.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, sometimes they're really hard to get, and then there's a rarities. Oh, sorry, that's what actually killed it for me. Was I remember we're playing a game, and again, common as rarities. And at one point I had 3 orcs that were exactly the same orc. And I'm like, okay, this is dumb. Like exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like, the same name. They add right, so you're like, okay, this is now I just collected the card rather than the random generator. So anyway,
I don't ever remember the collecting portion like ever being an issue. I don't ever remember like dreading.
I don't know. it turned me off of it because the game is different now.
Okay.
Like it hasn't happened yet. And you played because you played. You said you pre-ordered it, right? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I played it when it originally came
I had
out.
other people saying like, I don't know what your problem is with it.
2017.
It's totally fine. Like I said, that broke it for me. When I had 3 guys all the same, that's why I was like, forget it.
Yeah, I remember that happening too. Actually, now that you mention it, some of the orcs were actually doubled.
So I mean, that's me just being again bitter old man style, right? So, but
the
anyway,
collector in you.
Well, that's the
fair.
thing. It's not even collecting. That's the problem. I wanted to be. I like the first game where at the time when the first game was a lot more. It was trying to create a realistic world, right, where every orc was different and did different things, right? So,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean that's it. That's kind of what I've been doing.
That's it. You didn't do any other modeling thing besides your Redemptors?
No, oh sorry. I mean, there's the my LT that I was supposed to finish this week is not finished. I base coded him like
okay.
I think it's exactly the same. I think we posted it last time. Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't put any brush work on him. So I'm looking down right now and see what I have. No, I wasn't able to do anything. Oh, I was sorry because I did do. So you're right. I think I see what you're doing. There's a what's his name? Sigmund. So I was putting
Sigismund,
together.
Yep.
Yeah, so I got the Forge World model for him. Sigismund is the first captain of the Imperial Fist. And then you probably heard about how Dorn has a stick up his ass. This guy's even a bigger stick up his ass. He's just constantly brewing and angry and wants vengeance all the time. So
just like Lorand, sticks up his ass.
Always just boring and so anyway, but yeah, so he's I put him together. I'm gonna give him a helmet, and I'm probably gonna use him as Hellbrick equivalent for if people judge whatever for my Black Templars when I ever finish them. Well, because it's not really official. Like Hellbrick is a different character, but I'm like, you know what? I'll just use that model as Hellbrick because I don't have a Hellbrick model. I had one,
not a big deal,
and I think by accident someone threw him out, or I threw him out by accident.
Oh shit!
So, and it's the old I think it was the first release because I actually have it when that's how old these models are. When the Black Templars came out, they had all those characters, Hellbrick and Gordaldus. What the fuck is his name? The chaplain guy.
I have no idea.
I know. Sorry. Anyways, I have the first time they came on like the medals, and I lost Hellbrick. So
get rid of all that metal crap.
Oh man, the metal crap is but the soul of the metal. The soul.
I know. The soul's in the metal.
I don't really care.
That sounds awesome. The soul's in the metal.
The soul. Well, because it's the whole idea is it's how handcrafted versus 3D modeled. But yeah, that was it.
I guess so. Yeah. I see that.
So that's it. That was my big
two Redemptors, man. I can't wait to face that. Our two Redemptors are gonna go at it together.
I'll show you what I have, but oh man, I don't know. I might mess you up. The only reason is because the Redemptor, I'm giving them both plasma cannons because GW hates Imperial Fist. Let me tell you guys how much I hate GW because they hate Imperial Fist.
He loves it, but
I won't tell you that anyway. But they nerfed the Imperial Fist Super Doctrine, right? Yeah. So I kind of dipped full. That's why I was like, you know what, F it. I'm just gonna I guess I'll just do plasma cannons because they're strength 7 and up. And now when I overcharge my plasma cannons, they do 4 damage on turn 1.
It's amazing.
And 4 damage with a plasma cannon is not bad on turn 1, right?
There's no way for you to stay in heavy doctrine, right?
There is now. You can pay 2 points, but it's only 1 unit. And then 1 unit could count it. Well, that's the thing that's crazy. They count as being in all doctrines. They count as all of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's one of the big things. But it's 2 points, so it's still expensive. So you have to make sure it's worth it. But like for example, like I mean, even giving it to heavy bolters maybe, or something with a lot of. But yeah, it's weird. I mean, that's the thing. It'd be better if it wasn't under strength 7 and up, right? Because they took that away. But it's fine. Whatever. It's another. Sorry. And the last thing I did too was actually because modeling wise, I was looking at heavy bolters. So I was also looking at making. I think I built 4 more because I'm going to have so many heavy bolters.
Oh, why are you? Is this for
firstborn?
Oh, okay.
Because I bought a bunch.
I have a bunch of heavy bolters too. If you want,
I do not need any more. When the last order I did from Forge World, when I ordered all the bits, I ordered. Because
heavy.
Well, it was the easiest way to get them, right? So I ordered. What is it? I ordered 4. I think I did 15 times 3. Sorry, times 2. So 30 heavy bolters, 2 different variants. It's ridiculous. I'm not gonna need any. The reason I got that many was because it's 2 different designs. One of them is with the drum feed, and the other one has like the chains. The belt. So
I prefer the drum. The belt is extra painting.
Yes, and,
I don't
it's
need the extra belt.
Especially with Forge World, they come in like a straight band, and you have to like put hot water on and bend it. So we'll see
that's kind of cool.
Well, it is, but if it breaks, you're done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Stick with the barrel.
So the drum, yeah. So
yeah. With the drum, yeah. That's cool, man.
You could. Yeah. So what did you do before the drop?
What did I do before the drop? Well, more Vikings. We watched a lot more Vikings. We're almost done. Last season, like 5 episodes in, so about 15 more episodes left of the entire show.
Yeah.
So holy damn, man, it's changing. It's nuts. I obviously don't want to say or spoil anything for you, but that show makes me love Space Wolves so much more. Completely unrelated, but the whole atmosphere of the show, the characters, obviously the names are reflect so much on the Space Wolves, and like from my understanding, what the wolves do versus what Vikings actually did. It seems so similar. And I just want to. It's the Space Wolf show. Is what I like to call it. Yeah. I mean, Bjorn is the main character of the show.
It's basically Space Wolves before they become Space Wolves. They're basically furious. That's literally what they are, right? They just fight and trying to survive in this. I don't know if that's what the show's about. Obviously, it's not, but that's what pretty much Prepares Burns is about, right?
You know what? It's I guess a town of Vikings just expanding, trying to farm, expand, and then they go on conquest and taking over England, which has nothing to do with Warhammer. But I'd say it's like definitely before
the route, as they say.
Yeah. It's cool. I really like the show. So we're almost done. I'm gonna be very sad once it's over, but once it's over, we won't have any more 10-hour binge days where I get 0 work done. That being said, because we've been watching so much Vikings, not much is actually happen in like the realm of like miniatures, miniature work. What did I actually do? I finished sculpting. Hey, look at this.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah.
I'll show you. I put a photo right here actually, but my Gravis Captain, I did put some fur on the back of his backpack, and then I primed him. I primed the base as well. He's ready to be painted, but I finished him off. And when we were talking about the put it in bits to cover up messes and cracks, I did right underneath his backpack. You won't be able to see it, but I had to cover it up. You know, on the Gravis, the aggressor, you know how there's 2 barrels on the backpack?
Yes.
Well, I had to remove one of the barrels because the Gravis Captain only has 1 barrel, right?
Yeah.
So what do you?
Oh yeah, the ammo feed, right?
Yeah, the feed. Yeah. So what do you put to cover up the barrel that I just cut off? I had to put something there to make it look wolfy, or just to fill up that weird dead space. So, so I'd finished that. What else did I do? I'm just looking at my notes. Sorry. There's a game that I recently been playing called Rust: The Afterworld. It's a card game / I want to say board game. I'm going to be releasing videos about it on my YouTube channel. You'll eventually see it. But it's it kind of feels like a deck building, like a magic / it kind of it's an RPG card game. I can't really explain it like thoroughly because I've played a lot of it, hours and hours, but I want you guys to watch those videos and experience what Rust the RTA is really about. But it's about factions in the post-apocalyptic world facing off against each other, and you got to collect decks based off those factions. So there's the South, the North, the East, and the West. The East is the best. The Samurai. It's not the best because I haven't played the North or the South yet. I've been just doing West and East. And the West is like, think of Nurgle is the West, and nice. The Samurai are the East. So Samurai have a lot of light attacks, but lethal. So like think of like Death Touch in that
death by 1,000 cuts.
Yes,
death touch. Yeah,
basically.
so just low damage, but 1 hit, 1 kill.
Yes, yeah. And whereas the West is heavy hitting, but they take a lot of resources. It takes a lot of resource to the game's based off resources. Very similar to Magic. You need resources in order to cast these dominions or survivors. Survivors are the name of your monsters, your characters, your creatures. Yeah. So the West takes a lot of resources to cast, but they're heavy hitting. But the East has an easy way to manage to take care of those, just because of like their rule set. Like the East has their own unique way of playing. The West does as well. They have armor, they have heavy hitters, and the way armor works in the game is great. Whereas like anything that is damage 1, that is going up, that is facing off against armor 1, does 0 damage.
Oh, so armor is a negative to damage. It's like a straight stop. It's a straight block, not a. Yeah. Okay, cool.
So whenever like I don't want to keep comparing it to Magic, but in Magic you could defend with 2 different creatures, and if each creature has say 1 attack, and the guy that they're attacking has 1 armor, none of those 2 attackers will do any damage because it has to go through armor first.
Oh, okay, cool.
So whereas and now like that's where it affects the samurai. Samurais have a lot of 1 damage things, and once the West has armor, the East is screwed. You have to actually do damage other ways. But anyway, so I've been playing a lot of Rust. It's really cool. Like I said, you'll see more of that eventually on the channel. I do want to actually play with you, Lorand. You'll probably like the South, which is like the militia, the army, the snipers. Like I just yesterday went through the South and the North yesterday, read all the cards. I actually made my own decks for them because like the pre-made decks were pretty bad. I kept playing them, and I was finding so many issues. I kept running into these cards. I'm like, I don't need this card. I'm never going to use it ever. And then for the East and the West, and then I looked into the North and the South and took a look at their cards. And I'm like, wow, okay, so these cards that I thought wouldn't work for the East and West will actually work for the South and the North, and the cards that are in those decks will work really well. So I kind of like made my own decks, and now the game feels really good. After yesterday, after I remade all the decks, I'm like, okay, now I actually really like this game. None of the cards are useless that come up. Anyway, we'll play eventually when you pop by. Yeah, that's enough of RTA. What else have I been doing? Ooh, right. Underworlds, Lorand.
Yeah. Yep.
So I've been getting into Underworlds a lot. Watched a lot of battle reports, a lot of Guerrilla Miniature Gaming, Ash's channel. Watched a lot of his like Shadespire. Watch a lot some of his Beastgrave. And now he has some Dire Chasm videos up on there. So I've been playing watching his Dire Chasm videos and just reading into that, the how to play. Actually, there's a channel, what's it called? How to play? Learn to play, how to play. Oh, I can't remember. Oh,
Watch it play.
Watch it play. Oh my god.
Watch it play, right? Yeah.
I love
that older gentleman, right? He's the older gentleman, and he's very he's very good at instruction.
He taught me to play so many games. Yeah. So anyway, I watched his Shadespire yesterday, and it was like, oh, okay, because I remember watching it a long time ago, like 2 years ago when he.
Yeah, because I think I showed you when I was playing. What's the second one? Vault, Night Vault.
Night Vault, yeah.
So when I was playing Night Vault, when I got to Night Vault, I think I showed you a couple. Well, we talked about this where I think I showed you the game, but I forgot some key things when I brought it over, so we couldn't play. So you could just look at the models, but we didn't have. I think I didn't have the dice or something. No, the dice would have been fine because I can work around the dice. It was silly. I messed something up.
He brought over his stuff, but he forgot one key.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you.
It was the board.
I think it was the boards.
Yeah.
Because everything else we could have substituted for something, right? Even the cards we could have like gone online, and not the cards, but like if the like we missed like the stat cards. But yeah, the boards you can't because to build your own board, to draw your own board out.
I think it actually was the board. But anyway, so Lorand screwed up, so we didn't play years ago. But then, then over the last couple of days, I've been buying a lot of stuff. I bought the new Dire Chasm. I bought the Dire Chasm starter box, and then I bought this Hell yeah. These
Well,
are the Morgrath's what is it? Blade Coven. Basically the witch elves. Oh my god, those models look beautiful. But yeah, and then I bought also these guys.
yeah, cool. Because I'm gonna I'll
Kaggers.
get it when the vampires come out, and
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know,
man.
I can probably play with that against you.
I'm so excited for those vampires to come out because I probably will. You know what? I'll probably wait for you to buy them and then I'll just play with them. But yeah, dude, look it's still in the seal. Got it yesterday.
Yeah.
There it is. Ready to bust that baby open. Got it from Meeple Mart. Shout out to Meeple Mart. I was actually shocked that they had them in stock still. I thought like because Dire Chasm just came out recently.
That game, like what, like
These guys just came out this past weekend.
Well, at the same time, it's one of those games where I think we talked about it, where it's a very competitive game, and right now that there's no events, I was wondering how the game would be doing, right? Like especially the fact
sales.
that it just came out. Yeah, it's a weird game. Well, I mean, we could I could babble hours about it because like I said, I played season 1 and 2, so Shadespire, and then I played also Night Vault.
So yeah, Warhammer Underworlds is like it's the name of the game, Underworlds, but then each season has its subtitle. So it started with Warhammer Worlds Shadespire, then Warhammer Underworlds Night Vault, and then Warhammer Underworlds Beastgrave, and now Warhammer Underworlds Dire Chasm. So I'm getting into I'm assuming I haven't played the other 3. I'm assuming the rules change over time with each season. So now we're up to the updated.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. You could tell because the thing about Underworld that was the big thing about it was the first sort of. I know we talked about this. It really was meant to be competitive. Like that's why they built the game, the rule set. Yeah, and so you can tell they were learning, and they were doing a lot of ideas. Like to be honest with you, there's so many ideas that first showed up in Underworld, and 40K has it now. Like,
that's cool.
and it might not be the same, but I mean it's similar. Like the whole idea of in Underworlds, when you build objective decks. So the whole idea is you build your deck with objectives in it you score points with, but you build that to accommodate your army.
Yeah.
That's 40K, right? Where you pick your 3 secondary objectives, right? You have your main mission, and then you pick objective missions that you're built to accomplish.
Yeah.
So that idea, I feel like it's from Underworld. Might be wrong. I mean, GW has been doing that a lot, where they'll take a secondary game and they'll put an idea in it and see how it flies. So,
yeah, I like that. I like the idea. You build. It's not a game where you're. I mean, I'm always into always be charging ABCing. I love that, but this is not a game where you ABC. It's all objective. So I like the idea of building a deck to
always be charging. We used to call that the because I used to do that all the time. I used to build some deck, like Horn was that always be charging.
Oh yeah,
but it was a very what do they call it? Very one shot sort of warband.
One trick pony.
Yeah, so basically the minute that charge or whatever the aggression got stopped in any way or form, you went, you lost your momentum. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with you. I'm probably won't be playing for a while. I mean, I'll probably end up playing by myself, to be honest. Like even playing Rust by myself, like I'm trying to be as honest as possible and trying to win on both sides. Just A, so I understand the game. B, because I mean, there's no way to play these games single player. There's no solo play rules, not yet anyway. There is sorry to interrupt. Remember I told you that they're not really single play rules. They're more like solo scenarios that they have online. So like one of them is like, right, so there's a different ones you could. They're more for fun to try a weird thing out.
Yeah, in no way am I playing Dire Chasm to be competitive. I know that's probably the wrong thing to be saying, but like, hey, I can't imagine myself buying. I might. We'll see how much I like the game, but the models, honestly, the models are what's driving me to the game. And like the Kagra's Ravagers. The second I saw these guys on the GW site, the models themselves, I fell in love with them. The Chaos Warriors. I love Chaos Warriors, and I love Slaves to Darkness. They're my jam. I don't have a Slaves to Darkness Age of Sigmar army because I refuse to play Age of Sigmar. I basically refuse to play it. But one reason why I got these guys is so that you can actually use these guys in Age of Sigmar. You can use these war bands. you can use these war bands in Age of Sigmar. So it's a little more incentive for me to buy these, because I could double up on this game and Age of Sigmar. Same with the Witch Elves. Like, now that the Witch Elves, the Daughters of Kane, they just released their codex, their new War Scroll, War Tomb. They just released the War Tomb like today. As the date of the recording, they just released the Daughters of Kane. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I just watched Ash's review of it before this podcast.
Oh, I thought that was Slanesh. Am I being okay? Never mind.
Yeah, no, and you can use these ladies in that army. So, I just want to say the Daughters of Kane, they're probably the only army I would want to consider playing for Age of Sigmar, because they look nuts, and not to mention, they have, oh my god, Medusas.
Yeah,
yes.
Gorgons.
Oh my god, I want some Medusas just with their giant spears or firing bows all day. Witch Elves look sick. So yeah, I want to play that army, so more incentive to buy these guys. And then the two that come in the Dire Chasm box, I don't really have any intention or drive to want to actually play them in Age of Sigmar. But whatever, the models look sick. That's one of the reasons why I also wanted to get into it, because like if the models in the starter box didn't look so good, I probably wouldn't have gotten into the game. But because like I've mentioned it, I think last podcast, I'm appreciating the whole hobby aspect of the game more, and
especially
like I don't need a freaking 100 model army anymore. Like I have a 350 model Slaves to Darkness Chaos army, Warhammer Fantasy Battle, rest in peace. But I don't want to build another army like that again. I don't have the time. I have the drive. I will still do it if it's good enough. But I mean, like, unless another rank and file fantasy game comes out. Yeah, I mean, once Old World comes out, we'll see what happens. But you say if it's going to be off Forge World, then that's dropping out of that.
See,
you know what? I can't say I'm dropping out of it. Not yet. We'll see how the Wood Elf models look. If Wood Elves look sick, then hey.
All I was gonna tell you is that this GW's way, right? To just give you a little seed in there. Oh yeah, just get Underworld. It's cool. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Look at these cool Wood Elf models. You like Wood Elves, right? Hey, by the way, did you know you could use this in this other game with more? Like, oh, okay. Oh, sure. And the next thing you know, $4,000 in debt. You have no house, homeless, but you're surrounded by models. I mean, that's kind of the more gamer way, right?
I'm not gonna lie. If it gets to the point where I'm homeless, just surrounded by models, then I really effed up. I probably should have gotten rid of those a long time ago. I probably could buy a house with all the freaking models that I have now, and my collectibles.
Well, because I remember, like, it's funny how you said that you don't want it, because I mean that's how I got it back. I got into AOS. Remember, because when we first started playing AOS, both you and I did not like it. We're like, this is right.
When it had the two-page rule book, yeah.
Well, and there was no special rules. Everybody just rolled 4+4+, 3+3+, you know, because there's no. The other thing we don't like, we're not a fan of. But the game's come a long way, and also, like, as much as I hated it, I have like a 4,000 Nagash army, like all undead army, and I also have like a host portion of it too, like the ghosts, the haunts. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to say anything. Just be careful.
I know.
and even that was the thing too, is I bought all that stuff, and I'm painting it, and it's like I haven't played the game in over 3 years.
Yeah.
Right, because again, 40K came out, and 40K. That's the thing. It's hard to. That's what I've noticed as an adult, as an old grumpy man, is that it's hard to divide attention now, right? Like I have 2 games I'm playing more model-wise, which is 40K and Infinity at times, right? Those are the kind of things I was dwelling to. So it's hard to get a third one going to. But you never know. Maybe this time next year when we're out to play again, you're like, oh yeah, so Age of
Sigmar is the best thing on the face of the planet.
I have like a $4,000 fucking.
You know what? If history does in fact repeat itself, that in fact will happen, because I've said numerous times I hate things that you've said you should probably get into it, and I said no for years, and I'm like, why? And then years pass, I'm like, Lorand, I'm into it way more than you are. So you know what? We'll see. I'm sure I will become a competitive prick in Dire Chasm eventually. No, I won't.
Well,
I
because
have too many action figures to buy, man.
Yeah.
Like after I bought these 3
Dude.
boxes, I'm like, I could have finished off the entire collection of the Ninja Turtles.
I would be honest with you, the first time, because, well, I mean, I told you before, the way I got into Underworld was, oh, this would be a nice little simple casual game that me and my friends can play on every Wednesday, you know, every whatever, once a week. Just get together, throw a board in the easy to transport so I can go to work and come from it. And yeah, 2 full, buying every single thing for 2 seasons, going to every single tournament I can get my hands onto. Yeah, you can. Sometimes a W gets very addictive.
Yeah. Yep. So does spending cash.
Yes, that does. That does too.
I'm just looking at them at these boxes right now.
What do they call that? Buying therapy or shopping therapy or whatever.
Oh yeah. Dude, but look how sick this model is. I literally built this before the podcast just so I can look at it.
Make sure to put it up because I can't see it right now. That looks really cool.
Dude.
Yeah, the new Chaos stuff is really nice.
It's the reason why I had to get into it, man. I haven't bought anything Chaos related since 2009.
Well, you know that the new Chaos Warriors all look like that now, right?
They do. Yeah. But they're not rank and file. It's not a rank and file game.
Well,
I hate it. It pisses me off beyond belief because if this is how all the Chaos Warriors looked, and it is how they look, I would be going nuts. But the fact that I hate the game system is, well, it's saving me cash. But the fact that they look so beautiful, I want to get into Chaos again, but not on round bases. No way. For skirmish games like this, I'm totally cool with. Yeah, so this game in Dire Chasm, you only have like 4 to 5 different units or models.
Well, and there's no building,
which is
armies.
Really nice.
Yeah, it's the card. The cards is where you modify your play style.
Yeah, there's models and then the card aspect of the game, and you got to balance the cards out. But it's been getting into Dire Chasm, so I'm sure you'll hear a little bit more of that in upcoming podcasts. And well, I mean, Lorand, why did you get into it? You mentioned this earlier. Why did you get into it? Like I got into it because of the models. Like
I said, the reason I got into it was because a lot of my friends were like, we want to play a simple skirmish game. In my head, I'm like, oh, I just want a game where I can show up every week. No one has to carry around a luggage case full of models. I didn't realize, to me, it was GW. So I'm like, oh, it's playing a one-off game they're throwing out there. I know it was competitive and yada, 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 but I didn't expect it to be the money sink and time sink that it became on my head, right? Because like I said, so I basically bought it to like have a little game. I even got Mike. So Mike was the other, because he became my main sparring partner. And when I say sparring, it was literally that bad, where we were literally training every day. And by training, I mean we play a game and I try something else, try a new idea. And he didn't even like it. At first, he's like, I don't, because he's not a card guy. He's like, dude, I don't care about the cards. Like the cards turn me off of it. And I think the way I got him into it was, I'm like, but it's like Blood Bowl. You play like Blood Bowl, where like you push models and it's all about positioning. He's like, oh, okay, you know what? I'll give it a try. I played one, and I brought the star set over. We played one game. We played 2 games. Then he got a set. Next thing you know, me and him are buying every set, like we're more or less. It was insane. So that was the reason, and then the hook got in, right? Because I mean, like I said, we almost babble about it. Netrunner is probably the all-time favorite game I've ever played. It's a card game for everybody who doesn't know. By Fantasy Flight Games, way back in the day. Now it's an obsolete game now. They didn't renew their license, so it's gone. It's actually a remake of another game called Netrunner. I'm not gonna get into it. Look it up. It's
a fun game. It's cool.
It is probably, like I said, I never got into Magic. This game blew me away. So this game just got enough hook in me, and the whole system where you're not really randomly collecting cards, you're just buying a pack and getting everything. That kind of also let my guard down, and then I bought everything. And like they were selling, Claudio, they were selling a board. When you see the board, right? You get 2 boards in that thing. They were selling one board for $20.
Oh my god!
It was such a scam, and I bought it
piece
all.
Of cardboard, man. Like you said.
But dude, it like gave one little advantage, because the whole idea is you bring your own board, right? When you play against someone.
Oh damn! Is that how it works,
dude? I told you the game is all meant to be competitive. So you bring your board, and I bring my board, and there's tactics behind the boards like that. That's when I realized how deep the game goes. When I watched a video the video was called picking the right board for your army. And I'm like, what? And then the guy would go through and like tell you, well, if you deploy here, then you go 1, 2, 3, you're in range with this army, and this is why this army is best with this board. It's like I said, it's a very good game. It gets very.
You shouldn't be telling me this stuff, man. This is the hook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, like at first, like, no, man, it's a cool models. Next thing you know, yeah, because you said you basically the big draw for you was you just wanted to paint like fantasy models, but not devote millions of dollars into all these into one army or what have you.
In no way am I paying more cash for another board. I got 2 boards. I think I'm good for now.
Ooh, yeah, that's what I said too.
That's
what I said too.
That's what I keep saying.
I remember with the goblins because the thing, it becomes a what do they call that? Arms race, right? So at first, there's the cards. You're like, I don't need this pack, but there's a card in there. There's an amazing called Countercharge card in one of the packs. Literally, people were buying the whole pack just for that one card because the card was so good.
Yeah.
And same with the boards. I remember I was playing goblins, and the second season board was so good for goblins because goblins literally you deployed on every deployment, and one of the boards was perfect for it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So next thing you know, I went to a tournament. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Here's my $25.
And here's your counter charge card.
Yeah. Well, they that's the thing too. Then that's what I was saying. As the game now is probably GW is very new at the game back in the day. So there's a lot of things that weren't very balanced. So they didn't really know how powerful it was until the game went out into the field, into the competitive world specifically. So there's obviously cards and different ways of building decks. They started limiting cards. So you couldn't have. There's certain cards you can only ever take 5 of them, like category of cards. You can only take 5 of them and stuff like that. I don't want to bore you with all these. You haven't played the game,
dude. I'm gonna be boring myself eventually with all this crap.
The thing is, these are all things that I don't think they exist anymore. Like I think they dealt with all of it. Like the cards, at least because it's kind of sad. I got out of it in Beastgrave.
Yep. The last version, last edition. Yeah.
And sorry. Beastgrave I got right when Beastgrave was starting, and well, I already told you why. Like it kind of got weird. Like Toronto kind of died out. Like they stopped saying, well, GW kind of like even the GW store I went to go to, they're pushing the events very hard. It kind of just started draining out, and that's why I was like, you know what? As much as I love this game, also like I said, I was so competitive. I'm like, I'll full disclosure, I'm the bat sport in that game. I don't know what happened, but that game made me the worst sport ever. Losses would get I would just get furious. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Or, like it was bad. Like I said, I was very competitive in that game.
Lorand, you should tell our viewers that you are a 3-time world reigning champion in Warhammer Underworld.
That's my flex.
Tell us about your trophies that you just showed me.
3 shard glasses.
Check out these trophies on this side. These are Lorand's trophies.
Oh, you have the picture? Okay.
Well, I'm gonna get the picture.
Yeah. So whatever. Three trophies.
Just 3, whatever.
The reason was just because I thought it was a big deal, but people like the community, if you go online and talk to people, they were doing what I was telling you. They were doing what do they call it? They had a name for it. Basically, what they were doing was every army, they were trying to get every one of the war bands that came out, get a glass for them. So guys would literally, I remember one guy was in the world was famous for it, was he like wrote blogs and stuff, and I think he had everybody but like 3. So
3 war bands.
3 war bands. So at the time, to give you guys perspective, every season came out with 2 in the starter sets, and I might be wrong. I think it was 6 sets afterwards, or it might be 8 sets.
They changed throughout each season.
Then that was the same. Okay, I'm pretty sure at the time back in each new things, because I'm pretty sure it was. God, I don't remember.
Oh, I think it was 6 or 8.
Because I think it's 8 in total. I think it's 8 total. So it's 2 in the starter set, and then 6 comes separately. Yeah. So some guy I think had 3. So I mean, he had 15. He had 15 glass shards, right? And then we got, so this, like I said, people got really competitive. The only problem with I felt really bad was that you'd go to these tournaments, like toward the end, you go to these tournaments and you're like, because I had a couple of them where like they would show these like 2 casual guys. Oh yeah, this game was really fun. Me and my friend or me and my girlfriend were playing it. We actually once were like, oh, that's really cool. I hope you have fun. And we show up and me and Mike and some other guy was there with like these just not fun like murder decks where we already know what the meta is all, and that's what kind of like makes it hard for people to join.
That's the competitiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and okay, so the only complaint I had at the end was it was kind of, I guess it's more against the community, and I don't know how they are now because I said this was 2 years ago in Toronto specifically. That's where we are. If it wasn't glass, no one showed up, and it killed the thing. So if there's only and no one would show up, right? And so there was never really any fun time in the community. And this is again my perspective. I might be wrong, and that was kind of where I kind of burned out because. Like I said, the last event I went to was the end of Shadespire, and like my friend and I showed up, and we've been sparring for 2 weeks straight. I mean, like games that were literally like 2 turns, we just destroy each other because whatever. And then of course this 2 casual, like brand new, they're like, yeah, we're into the game, and we're trying to be nice with them, but our decks were bad. In hindsight, I should have probably had sort of like a friendly deck ready to go. So if the tournament was kind of, I could bring on more fun. And by fun, I mean just you're trying more random stuff, right? Because there's dice in the game, but toward the end of season 2, the way to play the game is you make sure you don't roll dice. So people would be like, yeah, I'm not rolling any dice.
Oh, really?
It was all card. Yeah, it just, well, because why?
Like objective cards and stuff.
No, everything. So the whole way you won the game, it was never about kills. Or if you did kills, the kills were so stacked against you that you like, yeah, it was just different. There's a little, again, when you get to the game, you realize it's just different things about it.
Yeah, we'll talk more when I get into the game. I'm sure next podcast I'll bring up that I've played a couple games. But yeah, you know what? Let's let's end off the Underworld's chat there, man. We've been rolling before the drop for almost an hour. So we haven't touched any main topic.
Remember when we were listening to topics and we thought we won't have enough?
Yeah, I was like, dude, I don't know if we have enough for this podcast. Let's see what happens.
Well, these topics we can go pretty fast.
Yeah. Just to end off my part, I never played like any game. Last episode, I was like, I'll probably end up playing Total War or something. Didn't. I installed Total War. I installed game things, bought games.
Planned for playing games,
bought games, never played. Scott Pilgrim is still the last game I played, and that was when you're watching this 3 weeks ago. So I need to play a game, but so busy, man. So busy. I just exactly. I have so many toys to unbox. Just like this shelf is ever growing. Like 4 new toys came in the mail the past week. I'm like, damn, the fact that I'm collecting more than my collection is getting bigger, whereas my output of videos is getting smaller. It's no bueno. So, and the things that I did get are awesome, and I can't wait to play with them. Today, I'm actually shooting an unboxing after this, so it's gonna be sick.
Oh, that's what you want to get.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's gonna be sick. So you'll see that on.
What are you unboxing?
I'm unboxing. No, I'll say it. It's the so there's a company called Super 7 Toys. They remade basically the first edition of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures from Playmates. They remade the Playmates toys.
Oh, the originals, like the 90s ones.
Yeah. So
I'll probably tune in because I want to watch that. That's my first action figure in Toronto. Dude. Sorry, Canada.
Oh, really?
Oh, sorry. It's my first. That was my. If it's the way you're talking about the Raphael that I remember you showed me.
Yeah. Dude, I have to show everyone this. This is absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna be unboxing this, but comes in a nice slip cover. Yeah, here's your preview, dude. Check out that Raph, yo. So you get like the Raph head, the original Raph head from the toy, and then you get a new head. You get a bunch of size, and like the weapons are redone here. So, and then in the very back there's a sprue that comes with the original weapons that came in the it's actually the remake of these weapons, but it comes on the sprue, yeah, it's all unpainted.
It's all red. Yeah, and it's all red, right?
Yeah, it comes on the weapons rack. So very cool that they did that. And so I'll be unboxing this one.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to be, but wasn't the legs different? The legs were one piece in the original. Yes.
Yeah. So now these are
updated. Then
these are updated. So these are not just hard remakes, but they're they're remakes of basically the main sculpt, the head, the weapons. They now have articulation in them, whereas before they didn't.
Yeah.
Like the foot soldier is like a 3.5, 4-inch toy, the original one. But this one, he's like 7.5, 8 inches tall because his legs can actually, he can stand up. Whereas before they were locked into this weird crouching position.
More, yeah. They all have. Well, that's the thing. They all have that squat look, right?
Yeah, they all have that weird squat look.
They're in that
like
horse
Shredder has that weird stance. Like now, you'll be able to make these same dumb stances, but
they're not stuck in it.
They're not stuck in it. And you know what? Like, there's something to say about those old toys. Like when they were made, they were made to be like a sculpture, and then they took that sculpt of like Donatello and cut his arms, like his forearms, they cut his legs, and like they made him move a little bit, but they were sculpted as a sculpture. Whereas these guys, like toys these days, aren't sculpted like a sculpture anymore.
Yeah,
they're not. The whole art behind a toy, I think, is gone almost, because there's too much I hate articulation in a toy. Like a lot of it. Like McFarlane Toys has like 30 points of articulation. I don't need the toe articulation. Even my toy unboxings, I'm like, I hate it when the toes can move. It's dumb. It just makes the figure look silly. Same with like,
because there's too many joints. Yeah, there's too many screw joints. Yeah, there's
too many screws. You don't need any of that. It takes away, like, there's a lot of Rogue figures out there, Rogue specifically, that look like trash,
X-Men Rogue?
like X-Men Rogue. Because they just make her look so silly. Like, I don't need to have her butt cheeks able to move. Why? literally, like, I have a Rogue action figure where like her thigh area, her ass can move. Why? No, I don't need it. So, but there was a recent Rogue release that came out. Beautiful. I think it's a Marvel Legends toy. It looks absolutely outstanding. I would want it. Sold out. I'm never going to get it. I don't plan on getting it, but beautiful. They took a note from the crap of the past. And anyway, all that being said, these toys are really nice. Those toys are really nice. Let's move on to our main topic. And our main topic,
i.e. our secondary topics.
So you know what? We already talked about one of our topics, which was Shadow of War. We want to talk a little bit about the Nemesis system. I don't know if you really want to touch on that.
I mean, it's quickly. It's weird. I mean, let's just touch it really fast.
Sure.
In the news, Warner Brothers finally patented, so they own now the Nemesis system, the idea of AI enemies basically adapting to the player, I guess.
That's
the whole
amazing.
thing that's all I want to say though is that the funny thing is the whole game literally has ideas from every other, not one idea in that game is original other than the Nemesis system. So it's really funny how they're going to patent it, but yet they have the assassinating and the upgrade. Sorry, the fighting is Batman, like straight up Batman, right?
Yeah,
then you
from the
have
Arkham games. Yeah.
From the Batman Arkham game. So the whole idea of like just attack, defend, or
Parry.
dodge, or B, which is like stun smash, or where they call it. The stealth and running around and assassinating. Assassin's Creed, like it's Assassin's Creed, like it's a fantasy version of Assassin's Creed. Anyway, so this is just weird. Like, is that what's going to be in the future now? Where like id games are going to lock down? Oh, first person shooters, that's ours. So if you have any game with a first person perspective, you have to like it's. Whatever this means for the future of games, I don't know. I think this might open a floodgate. Maybe it doesn't matter.
Silly. Not gonna lie.
Maybe I'm thinking too much into it, and it's like it will never affect us at all. It will be all business side. But there's so many game ideas that became something else because someone else just took it and goes, "I can make this better."
You know what though? Like the Nemesis system is okay. As much as the game Shadow of War, as much as it's like I don't want to say copycat, but it's essentially a copycat of other sandbox.
It's just
games.
Ideas, right? That's
ideas.
The thing.
It's a
ideas,
sandbox game
right?
that has combat. I mean, if anything, the Arkham game should have patented their combat system. It's like that. It's that.
But the thing that's insane about that is think about how many games after Arkham became popular used that system, and it was a good system. Like people actually was like, oh, this actually made so many games more fluid and better.
Mm-hmm.
But also, anyways, I don't want to get too into it. It's just a weird precedence has been set, and we'll see what happens with it, right?
Yeah.
Because again, when is this going to stop? Like, where is the line? Like, what can you patent? Because I'm already you already see it. People that like MOBAs, right? Like you remember we got into MOBAs.
Mhm.
The originator of MOBAs, right, was on Warcraft 3 for Blizzard. And look what happened. They got super angry that there was all these other companies that made MOBAs. They were the originators. They couldn't solidify it, and they destroyed their entire. They basically have a ruined custom game section now.
Yeah. So
People
a
don't-
MOBA was originally just like a, I guess,
Dota. Original was Dota. People know Dota, and
Dota, yeah.
and the other big one was League of Legends.
League
The
of
whole idea of
Legends.
like playing on a map with different characters that originated in an RTS game, which is Warcraft 3, and they had a custom section where you can make custom games and custom.
It was
map
just like a
games.
fun thing that people wanted to do.
And it got really big and made a lot
Yeah.
of money. And then, sorry, that's the thing. It didn't make money at first. It got huge.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, the only reason people even played Warcraft 3 was because of that mod, that
Yeah.
custom game section. Anyway, the whole idea is because of that whole thing of like, oh, we need to like, we lost out on it. They locked down. So they redid Warcraft 3 and they don't have that anymore. So how many more things are we going to lose in the future?
Mhm.
Things that were really fun that will not be fun anymore. Like they're already locking down mods, like, like Bethesda locking down mods where they don't want people to mod their games. Or if they mod the game, they have to go through a special system so they can sell the mod. It's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So we'll see. Because I feel like this is a stagnant, this will like affect creativity.
Yeah.
Because like now an indie, like let's just say,
Or
an
make
indie-
it better, right? Because if you can't
Yes.
do the Nemesis
Yep,
system,
yep,
do
yep.
something that maybe uses elements of it and make it better.
Mhm. Yeah, I
So-
mean, again, we'll see. I mean, imagine a world where there's only one battle royale game. There's only
Oh my God.
like that's it. There's only what's it called, PUBG. That's it.
PUBG,
There's no
yeah.
other game because they did the same thing where
I
they
guess
didn't.
yeah. There's
Well, but I guess, but that's the thing now. I don't know. We will see what happens because I think this was a big deal. I know people that follow video game media. This is all over. People are like, okay, well, this is kind of stupid because also someone pointed out they are not the ones that created it. Warner Brothers wasn't the company that actually came up with the system. It was the company that made the game itself, but Warner Brothers published it and they took the right. It's so weird.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Let's think about that too. So now this company that made it, they don't actually own, as far as my understanding goes, they don't own the mechanics for that.
Mhm.
And also the other thing that's interesting too is now where's that line? So does
Right.
that mean if you make a roguelike game, but it has a system in it where an AI remembers you, is that count as a Nemesis system? Anyway, so we could go. That was literally what.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of fine lines that need to be addressed.
And people in the comments,
you bring up a
tell us what you think, because maybe I'm overreacting, right? Maybe this is not a big deal at all. It will only be in the background playing out in the corporate world and won't affect us. Maybe.
Yeah, what exactly in the Nemesis system is copywritten is something I want to.
We might have to probably look it up. Yeah, we might have to look it up or something.
Because that goes a long way. There's a lot of elements in the Nemesis system, and if other games can't use it, then that sucks.
Well, the thing it's not maybe not. Again, that's the idea. That's sorry. I guess that's my point I'm trying to make is that they can't use it or they can't use the idea of it. Like I understand not taking their code and being like, okay, we're just gonna strip that code out and just use it, but like, does that mean Assassin's Creed can patent their look and feel of a game? And now, well, like for example, someone brought up towers. Like that's a Ubisoft thing. Every Ubisoft game has towers. Oh, no one can have towers
Save
anymore.
points. Yep.
Yeah, like tower. The
Zelda.
tower.
Right, Breath of the Wild has towers.
Oh, you can't do it anymore, right? Nintendo, or every time you do it, you have to pay Ubisoft for it. Like it gets weird.
Yeah.
It gets weird. Anyway, but that was another thing. What's our next topic?
So that was topic number 3. We are back to topic number 1. We want to chat a little bit about the new and improved Dark Angels Space Marines. So, Lorand, you want to start this one off?
I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't have
good.
as much insight. They're good. Everybody knows the inner circle, which is basically
Special rule, inner circle, which basically gives them
they can only be
transhuman
transhuman
physiology, so you can only wound
on 4+.
on 4+, which is dirty,
stupid. Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm toughness, like, yeah, and they get it on their Terminators. And their veteran blade guards.
Blade guard, like.
Hey, you know that really expensive plasma that wounds on 2s, but goes through their armor? Oh wait, it doesn't wound on 2s, and they have a 4+ invulnerable save.
You know what? There's something to say, actually, now that I think of it, there's something to say when you're taking plasma against those suckers, right? You never ever have to overcharge. You're always going to wound them on 4s.
Well, but you want the 2 wounds though, right?
Oh, right. Overcharges 2 wins. Yeah,
that's the thing.
that's a kicker.
Yeah. So
Oh,
that's the thing, and that's the thing before, right? Like the whole idea is you hit him with something like that. So that, I mean, there's ways around it. Obviously, you just, I mean, it's one of those. Anyways, it's one of those rules that, for example, my army doesn't care. I'm bolters. I hit you on 4, 5, or 6s anyway, all the time. Like I don't have anything high damage that much, other than my one set of my 2 plasma cannon sets. Again, other armies might be more affected. Like if you're, especially if you're relying on those meltas to do the damage for you, or your what have you, they just become AP strength 4 weapons or whatever you're fighting against. Anyway, but that's the cool thing about that. That's one of their, and that's actually a chapter rule. But then they also added in. I mean, really, the big thing about Dark Angels, their main thing is that they have Deathwing, and Ravenwing, which basically make it. The rules set for making an all Terminator army, which is really cool. Which me and you and I talked about.
That's
Deathwing. And then Ravenwing, you can make an all bike army, and they get OPSEC, which is they can take over objectives. So they can use the Outrider, Outrider, or Vanguard. So Outrider's the organization that's all fast attack, and then the Vanguard is one with all elites. They're able to do it where they put their commander in it. They don't have to pay the command points for it. So which is so good, right? Well, while everybody else does, and all their bikes and if they do with Death Ravenwing, all their bikes become OPSEC. And if they do,
so they could claim objectives.
Yeah. So if that's their big thing, like they don't have anything that huge. The characters are really good. I mean, every review I watched and like when I read quickly through their codex, it's kind of like if you play that army, that's kind of where the specialty of it is. You can still make a basic Marine army if you want. Make them the Green Tide, as people were referring to them, or the Green.
The Green Tide. What would you do? A Ravenwing or Deathwing? If you only had one option, what would you do?
That's a rough one.
Think of all the Terminators that you've ever painted.
So, well, that's the thing. I'll be honest with you. If you asked me this a while ago, like way in the past, I would say 100% Deathwing. I think all Terminators are wicked. But recently, especially with those damn beautiful Outrider models, I don't know why these new bikes really got me. So I would probably do Ravenwing than just all bikes, because just
a couple chaplains on a bike.
And to be honest with you, in the competitive side of it, it's also because mobility is such a huge thing in this game. Like being able to be one place and then go to another place instantly. It's did you see the stratagem that they have, that they can that anyone in the Deathwing or Ravenwing can turbo like 30 inches, but they can't attack, they can't shoot or charge or anything. But they have a jinx save, right?
They have a jinx save. 30 inches. Like you want what's the secondary on all fronts?
And line breaker. There's line breaker
just all
fronts,
hide behind cover, and then you're just, dude, I mean, that's amazing. That's a great strat.
Well, and that's why the Raven Gear are interesting, because they can do a lot of cool stuff like that. Yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah, and being able to resurrect a bike or an Outrider is really, really important. That's sick.
The medic or something.
Yeah, or the, what do they call it? Apothecary. Whoa, which, by the way, I just got Apothecary too. I think I showed you. I think I sent you a picture.
Yeah, you sent me a little picture of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I probably could have bought 3 PlayStations. No, I did give. The Apothecary is cool. I totally forgot about that guy.
It's funny though, because how much was that Apothecary?
Oh, hold on. And the Terminator, the Chaplain Terminator that came out for Warhammer
you
Day.
Got him too. Yep.
Yeah, I got him. So I built them. I made them all looking Space Wolfy. I had to clip off the Terminator's just like custom shoulder pad. I felt so bad because I knew this is like a limited edition thing. But then I put on a sick Wolf Terminator one. Probably never going to use it. But how much was the Chaplain?
Yeah, just joking. Yeah, how much was it?
45, I think.
Yeah, so God of War, $20.
Yeah.
Don't worry though.
And then how much was the Apothecary? I don't know, $38.
I think 35 or something. Yeah,
something like that.
Well, that's the thing that's crazy is I think we talked about it, right? Like we're just, because we mentioned how expensive the system is. Yeah, the 2 start, what are they called? Those close combat Marines. What was the set called for that came out? The Indominus.
Indominus. Yep.
The Indominus set. Me and you got both. We could have each bought in PlayStation instead.
Oh yeah, we could have. Yep.
So
what made us happier? Well, I mean,
Well, the fact that we bought him,
Probably PlayStation would have been happier.
Not really. I mean,
I know. I mean, Assault Intercessors. Hello, come on, man.
They're so cool.
And now we got six Eradicators, 6 bikes. Well, now I have 9 Blade Guard.
You have 9 Blade Guard.
3, 6. Yeah, I ended up buying 3 more, but then I'm using 2 Blade Guard or 2 of the Ancients from.
Oh, like, yeah, kind of like yeah.
Which I you know what? I know we're going off topic, but I underestimated the Blade Guard Ancient model. I didn't look at his rules and that he allows models like around him or something to attack if they die upon death.
He's got it's like the banner. It's like the banner. Banner universal thing, and then so because every banner now has two parts to it.
Yeah, it could be pretty useful, but I mean, I think besides that,
the big thing too is also the +1 to hit, right? Because now they hit on 2, which is weird, right? Back in the day, it wasn't that big of a deal, but now that you don't really, there's no, you can't just go, hey, chapter master, everybody around you re-rolls everything. You can't do that. So having the ability to go, okay, I have a guy now that gives him +1 to hit. So if you have a commander and him next to you, you're pretty much auto hitting with everything, right? Because it's 2+ to hit +1. The only thing I don't like about it, the only thing is that he's 80. I think he's 80 points.
Yeah,
he doesn't have anything on him. He's just 80 points. He can't fight. He can't shoot. He just stands there.
Yeah.
80 points. Oh, that's.
He's a cool presence on the battlefield, but that's all he is. And,
I feel like if you build it with the whole thing with like a lot of Blade Guard, I think he's worth it. Maybe.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, taking him with Blade Guard would be really nice.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm thinking him and an apothecary just hanging out with a unit of 5 Blade Guards going to town.
Why only 5? Why not 2 units of 5?
Well, I mean, okay, sure, I'll take 2 units of 5. All right.
I'll be honest with you.
I got that. I can do it.
I actually tried what you just said once. I played. It was on TTS, so like it was just like so I can do it and have the models. But yeah, it was literally just 2 units of 5 because we were. This is when they just came out, so I did 2 units of 5 Blade Guard with a bunch of like bike. It's basically army I played with the bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
But the Blade Guard just marched up with a lieutenant and a captain. Insane. Like they're just taking.
Did you have an apothecary too?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
I lied. I didn't have an apothecary yet, but because I don't think the new Space Marine book was out yet, so they didn't have the good rules. But man, like just walking up and just taking all those shots and being like, "Yep, don't care."
Now, can you imagine a Dark Angels army? 2 units of 5 Blade Guard with the apothecary, with whoever the hell you want, a chaplain. Chaplains, I'm starting to think, are just better overall than any other HQ.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I think I'd mentioned this before in our previous podcast where, like even like I my Imperial Fists are still doing the whole like auras, right? So I have lieutenants, but I think we mentioned it with the Death Guard, with all these like turning off auras. The target single buffs now are better, right? Like I feel like a lot of more people are going on to chaplains and to librarians to do their commanding rather than the captains.
Yeah,
just because they're more versatile, the utility is more useful on them. You can do more different things with them. So
and they're cheaper. They are initially cheaper.
They are. No, you're right. They are. Like a chaplain is 85 points, the big guy, right? You give him the super chaplain ability, makes him 100, but he comes to 4+ invulnerable.
You see the Deathwing or the Dark Angels chaplain? You can make him like a monster beast.
Telling me about that. Yeah, he's
strength
insane.
8, -3 wounds. Yeah, okay. Who needs captain when you have this guy?
Yeah. and his reroll everything aura actually works on everything, including characters and himself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because it's not just core, right? It's core and characters for the chaplain abilities.
All right, I'm gonna go on Meeple Mart's site and buy all the Dark Angels. Here we go.
I like to buy 15. Yeah. I don't even know. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, again, the army is expensive, so army is small and elite.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, that was it. I mean, there's nothing really major. I would say, like even every single one, they focused on these 3 things, right?
Mm-hmm.
The special formations. Oh, sorry. I guess they have amazing psychic powers. All the psychic powers are amazing.
Right. Yeah.
So they're just a good fashioned codex, I think. So we'll see. I'm excited. I don't know. I don't really have anybody that plays Dark Angels, like that I play with normally. So maybe someone will just use it. I mean, I guess I could probably take one of my own chapters and say they're Dark Angels and do something weird with them.
Just proxy it whenever you come over next time. Just plays Dark Angels and use your yellow Marines as Dark Angels. I don't know.
Never.
Use your Black Marines.
Dorn forever. I will literally die with using bad rules for Imperial Fist. I don't care how much UW doesn't want me to enjoy my Imperial Fist.
You just have terrible dice, yo. I'm telling you.
Maybe. Well, maybe.
You got to get some dice that believe in you. You use red dice with a yellow army.
No, I have yellow dice. I use yellow dice. Yeah, I have yellow dice, man.
Okay.
No, I can even show it to you right now.
Oh, you're going all thematic. Okay, nice. All right. I thought you were using red dice for.
No, the red might be red in it because when I have 15,000 bolters and some heavy bolters, I'll throw the red with heavy bolters. So you're not waiting for me to roll millions.
Dude, that's where you screw it up, man. Time, patience, and then you win.
Well, sure. If you want to watch me roll dice,
I never win. Don't worry. I don't listen to me. I don't win.
Not true either.
Well, damn, man. What do you think? Should we cut the podcast there? We've been going for over an hour. So our main topics were 20 minutes.
By the way, this was supposed to be a very we had not a lot to talk about cast because we were we're all busy, barely had done anything, and then we're already over the top.
Well, you know what? We did bring up things that we didn't mention at all to each other. So hey, it's all good, and we can ramble on and on about about everything. So, but yeah, I guess thank you guys for watching. Really, really appreciate all the support. Lorand, before I get to that part, where can the good people out there
at Low Orbit Gaming on every single platform: Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter? Yeah, Twitter.
Yeah, also. See, he got onto that Instagram thing. Hasn't posted a thing.
You're checking up on me, aren't you?
Dude, I'm telling you, you started, you started good, and now you just gotta go.
I downloaded all the photos from my phone from all the tournaments for my Imperial Fist, so I might just start posting them randomly, the ones that are actually nice, and whatever. We'll do that.
Yo, and then Twitter, let us know when you're streaming so we know, so we could tune in.
I thought it's on there. Yeah, and I guess I did. I'll put that in.
You haven't been doing any tweeting?
Every 2 weeks you'll remind me, and eventually I'll snap and be responsible.
Don't worry, if you want me to remind you about Instagram, I will remind you about Instagram. But start posting your stuff, man.
I will.
Start working on your start working on your oh wait, I think you do have your emblem, your Instagram logo now, right? Or is it just
is it a little I used the same one I used for my Twitch. The one I threw together at paintbrush.
Oh, the guy with the planet? See, I thought
just do the bad thumbs up with the planet. Yeah.
Dude, you know what? I thought your Twitch logo. I thought you didn't do a Twitch. I thought that was a default.
No, that was me.
I'm like, it looks so bad. I wonder why he chose this default.
Because I drew it myself. An artist, man. That hurts.
Sorry, man. You know what? It's great.
10 minutes
You're
into
beautiful. You're a beautiful artist. You know how to do it. It's great. Well, Lorand at Low Orbit Gaming on all platforms. You can find me on Instagram at Claudio_Paola and on Twitter at Claudio Paola Art. And on YouTube where I post, these drop casts and toy reviews, video game things, whatever the hell I want. So again, thank you everyone. If you do want to support the channel, please feel free to like this video, comment down below, let us know about any of the topics. Let us know about anything that we talked about, whatever. Do you like Dark Angels? Have you played whatever these games that we're talking about, that we were talking about, Middle Earth? What do you think of Middle Earth? Let us know down in the comments. And thank you very much for watching. And as always, guys, you can catch us on the next drop.